Okay. Is it? Oh, it's recording. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. What a day. 3-3. A lot of 3-3. You know, hi everybody. Welcome back. This is Leslie Plazz and Zazoo Plazz for the weekly Leslie Plazz, also known as Zazoo Plazz, and my friend here, Zazoo Plazz, for the weekly report, which, you know, it's been a whole day in the making. What energy today, oh my gosh. It's the 3-3 portal. There's a lot of threes. I got so many creative downloads today. And so there's so much, you know, F around and find out energy. Oh my gosh. So anyway, March 3rd, 2024. Okay, so here's what happened. And it's the third Sunday in Lent. How about that? It's 3-3. You can't make this stuff up. I have a lot to talk about today, so I guess I'm just going to get started. And then after this, I made chicken fajitas last night. So after this, I've got to have my dinner because I'm like really getting hungry. It was a beautiful day today. I went out for a hike, and so I was gonna, okay, I guess I'll do this as background to set it up because we'll come around to it. You know how we do around here. First of all, take a deep breath. I am thankful you're here. I'm thankful that my phone is working. Finally, I got it plugged in. I'm here in my living room, by the way, my new place. I got a new lamp over here. So here's my new lamp. It's very cool. See, it's got the upper part and it's got the lower part. So I've got the lower part on now, and I think it's pretty good lighting. So we'll see how it works. Knock on wood that my phone, which is all plugged in, everything ready to go. So I think this is how I might do it from now on. This is the inside I'm getting today. I think what I might do is, you know, go out, go for my hike, and then after my hike, and I'll go to a different place every week, and maybe I'll take a few reels when I'm on the road, you know, maybe I'll take a few pictures, and then come back here and, you know, do a longer report. So that might be the way to do it. I think I've given up, folks, not on the Zazoo report, but I've given up on trying to do the whole thing outside because the forces of nature and the universe are conspiring against me. It's obvious. All right. Yeah. So being that it's human nature to make mistakes, fail, and, you know, God knows we're human, right? We can only do so much. So in my going out and, you know, this is why I'm the part-time superhero, right? Full-time mom, because I want to take care of people and I want to do things, but, you know, the 3-3-3. I left my apartment here 333 today, 333. And they say the angel number 333 is, it's, you know, balance, like having to balance, you know, your physical, your mental, emotional, your spiritual, all areas of your life. So the theme, you know, I'm going to kind of talk, this week my theme is kind of wisdom. You know, we start off with I'll come around to it, the 10 Commandments, you know, and I think simplicity is another word here. And the fact that our bodies are temples for the Spirit, you know, and if we don't take care of those temples, right, we're not going to get the good stuff, the good downloads. And if we allow energy or, you know, thoughts or information or, you know, any, you nasty food or anything into, through our bodies and fields. That's like the bodies are our temples, right? So that's something, they're sacred. If we put something in there that's not sacred, it's, you got to drive that out. So that ties in with the gospel today. I'm just going to do a little bit of my scripture background to start. Because the energy is very fast to me. And I'm getting all these thoughts and I just want to get it out so bear with me today. If things come out kind of gobbledygooky, because that's the way I'm reading things. And also I've just kind of, we've had some sad news in our family. And I'll get to that at the end. My godfather passed away, my cousin's dad, who was in a local assisted living place. My cousin, she's Gen X, she's close to my age. We grew up together. Her mom and my mom, sisters, and that's my mom's sister's husband is the one who just passed away. My Uncle Johnny. And he was actually my godfather and, lived around the corner from us our whole life. And so my dad just texted me because my phone died while I was out hiking trying to do the Zazoo report. My phone died. So I said, okay, I'm just going to hike. And then I got all these downloads. And then I came back and I had the text from my dad that Uncle Johnny died. And then I had, I was trying to get the report done and let the kid, let everybody know. And I just said, you know what, I'm just going to sit down because, obviously, I'm on overload right now. I don't know how it is where you are, but I just wanted to get this done. So I'm gonna talk about my uncle later in the report. I'm gonna work it all in. I want to get the scriptures because my uncle was a Catholic. He was Lithuanian American, but his whole life he was a good Catholic. He had 2 daughters. One my cousin she's 8 years older than us, so she's a baby boomer, and then my cousin she was in my grade at school, so we were very close, and so he was always around. He was. My mom and her sister and my dad, the 4 of them were very close, and they used to take trips together and just spend all their time together. I mean, they were very close. So yeah, he was a very devout Catholic, and that's why I'm going to devote this Zazoo report to him because he was a good guy, good person, hardworking, good-hearted man, and so yeah, he was toward the end. He was having trouble hearing, and there was the usual. He had his troubles getting around and this and that, but he was surrounded by family the whole time, and so my aunt, now she's the last one of the 3 siblings. My uncle passed first, and then my mom 3 years ago now, and then so now she's the last one. So she's like 88. So yeah, so I guess they'll be making arrangements this week. But I'm gonna do this first because I'm talking about him. So I wanted to show some pictures. This was a time when I guess my dad must have taken this picture. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't know he passed away. And I had a white t-shirt on. I'm like, what can I wear today? So I put on my Orlando sweatshirt that my former husband, got me when he went there on business a few years ago. And it's nice and cozy, and I love the color. It's, zip up. And I said, I'll just wear my Orlando shirt because it was warm today, but you still needed a sweatshirt. So, and then I'm looking for pictures of Uncle Johnny, and what do I find? Pictures when they went to they went to Disney. This was like in the early 90s, I think. No, this was late 90s. Right, around the time, let's see, I don't know, maybe mid to late 90s. I don't know, it's hard to tell. It was in the envelope with the 90s ones. So it was in the 90s probably. And so here they are. I'm going to show you. There's my mom and my aunt, and the book, she's Olivian. And so I talk about them in the chapter at my graduation party, my college graduation party. There's a picture of my Uncle Mo and, Olivian, that's her name in the book. And they were both, I talk about how they were both dressed up and they looked nice and everything. So there they are that looked like the place that I went, we took my husband for his 40th birthday. There's like a restaurant there. And it was a surprise. We went with the boys. We had a special, what was it? The Crystal Palace or something like that. And Pooh and friends came out and brought him a cupcake, and there were sprinkles on the table, and it was a big surprise. He didn't know that I talked to the waiter on the way in and asked them to do a thing. But that was a great time. So we also have a picture of ourselves, the family, standing in that. It's a photo op place. It's just, everybody stands there to get the picture with the Cinderella castle. So that was them. So that was quite a few years ago. And then I guess this is just him in front of Epcot. That's him and my aunt. Same trip. That's when they were probably around 60, right? Maybe around 60, early 60s they were there. I don't know. They always seem, I don't know. I don't feel that old. They look young there, but it's so nice to see them. And then that's my uncle, Johnny, with my, she was my cousin's oldest daughter, was born in 91. She was our flower girl at our wedding. And that was at my cousin's house, her first house. And so there he was, Grandpa. And so he has 1, 2, he's like, they have like 7. I forget how many kids, how many grandkids they have of my other cousins. She had 2 kids, and then there's like 7. Okay, so 7 grandkids on that. So put 7, but like 9 grandkids he had. So anyway, so those pictures. So I might give these to my cousin. If I can find some more, maybe. Yeah, so I didn't expect today to have to get ready for a funeral this week. They haven't even made the plans yet. But I want to go on and talk about some other things now. Yeah, so first we have the 10 Commandments. And I'm thinking, God's words are sweeter than syrup, maple or honey. The laws of the Lord refresh us, give wisdom to the simple. And I would say that my uncle was not a real complicated guy. Somebody you could talk to. He was down to earth. He was a Capricorn. But he was a good Catholic, and I think, that was key to him having a good life. He valued family, comfortable home, and nice food, good food, having things, having nice, going places. He wasn't the kind of guy you'd sit around and talk about higher things with. He'd give me a warm hug. He'd smile, and we'd have a few words. And that would be that. He was there. He was that kind. He was there. Content to sit and watch everybody else, kind of do their thing and whatever. But yeah, so But, the gospel today is probably the main thing that I wanted to talk about. It's, Jesus was, going out and doing signs, and people started listening to him more, started paying attention to what he was saying. This is Paul to the Colossians. Some people demanded signs, some people wanted to hear wisdom, right? But Jesus, what he was saying was about destroying the temple in 3 days, rebuilding it, right? That he was talking about himself, right? And there's three, again, the number 3, right? 3 days, March 3rd, the third Sunday in Lent, and the 3 days. And then Jesus going and, throwing the money changers out of the temple, right? So that's kind of, it's all tied together, right? The commandments, it seems to me, the 10 commandments are all about, the laws of respecting the sacred, right? What's sacred? Our bodies, right? So you don't want to go out and, it was just guidelines, right? The 10 commandments weren't like, wah, like when I was growing up, oh my gosh, well that was the template you had. Before you went to confession, you had to go down the commandments, and the nuns would say, this is what, did you do this? Well, okay, I didn't. I said, whatever that is, I don't know what that word means. I don't know what covet means. Did I covet? I don't know. Thou shalt not, right? When you're a kid, it's like, oh my God, all these serious words. I don't think, I would have done it differently. Now that I think about it, yeah, what kid wants to hear all these rules? I think we're beyond that now, right? That was just a guideline, but now we're beyond that. It's like, take the training wheels off. Do we still have to go around and shake our finger at people and go, God, right? I was like scared I was scared of the 10 Commandments. It was just so serious. And, thou shalt not. Did I do this one? Did I do that one? What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that word means. Wait, is it the 6? Wait, did I? Okay, I stepped on an ant. Does that mean that does that count as killing something? I don't know. It wasn't intentional. Okay, so when I was a kid, you had to go to confession, and because I went to Catholic school, right? And you had to keep track of all these things, right? Once you made your head explode. But it's simple. They're saying, okay, it shouldn't be that complicated, right? Jesus said, he's kicking the money people out of the temple because they're not respecting it as a sacred place, right? So that's why we have to kick out of our lives, out of our temples, of our bodies, our minds, anything that's not, that doesn't support, what we consider sacred, right? Our body's going to tell us. It's going to tell us. The universe is going to tell us. I go out and I try to do the Zazoo report on the trail, and it's tipping over and stuff. I know right away this isn't going to happen, right? Because I've had this experience. This is my wisdom, okay? Say, I've done the Zazoo report so many different times, in so many different ways. But today I said, I just gave up. I said, okay. And I wrote all these notes. Oh, my phone died. There was all these hikers getting in my way, briars. I got a little, briar thing in my thumb, and I had to take it out. I kept forgetting stuff. These girls came by with their dogs, and and so, yeah. So what I'm done with is trying to, go. My microphone, I don't even know if this works anymore. I have to get some new equipment. It's, what I want to do is go hike in different places every week. Do some short reels that I can post. Fun things, things that I post pictures and, can you guess where I am? Talking about different places in Connecticut or New England or wherever I go. Do some short ones. And then try to do, at nighttime when the energy comes down, I'll do one of these, whenever I can get to it. but I think that this will be good because it'll be less pressure on me to get it done on my Sunday. I can relax, enjoy it more, and maybe more of you will watch. You will watch my videos. So and the downside to that is nothing really. Maybe no, I got nothing. So it's all good. It's all good. The energy is speeding up. So my thoughts are speeding up. The stuff that it's coming through me is speeding up. And if I don't get it out right when, this is the way I work, if I don't get it out right now, as the week goes on, more stuff is going to pile on. I'm very sensitive to the astrological energies that are all around. Psst, psst, psst. Okay? And I have just so much energy each day. And I find like I get, totally wiped out. We are now going to get to the song of the week, all right? Now this song, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to play it in the background. So, Human Nature, right? That song came out summer of, July of '83. So it was the summer after I graduated high school, before I started college. It was produced by, Quincy Jones, and the band from Toto actually played. Michael Jackson did the vocals, as you can hear. I'm just going to do a little bit. I won't get snagged. I don't know how this works. I don't think you're supposed to play it. Oh well, I can take it out. So it got up to number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. You can play the song after and reflect on it. But it was called a haunting and brooding ballad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a great summer. So what happened was, it's an interesting story that I want to share with you about this song. The guy from Toto, the keyboard player, Steve Porcaro, wrote the song. And he said his daughter came home from school one day and she said that a boy had pushed her off the slide. Now his daughter, this came out, it was 82, so she was born in, 76 or so. Late Gen Xer. And so he said, she was upset. He said, well, the boy probably likes you, but it's human nature, right? That he showed that he liked you by pushing you off the slide, because that's what boys do at that age. I remember some of these tough boys, they used to chase me. I used to run like heck all the way to my aunt's house, my aunt and uncle's house. And, back then, people didn't, you come home and something like that happens, you don't get lawyers involved. You didn't get the teachers involved. You come home and you say, Dad, this happened, or Mom, this happened. And you're like, okay, well, this is why probably this boy likes you. And see the difference in that? Versus today, if that happened, I'm thinking that it would have gone very differently, right? And so, it's something to reflect on as to what the environment was like back then for kids, right? Somebody picked on you in school, right? You didn't go and run and tell the teacher or, get the police involved, Something like that happened today. Some kid pushed a kid off the slide. There would have been like a million, teachers, assistants, everybody over. Nobody. In those days, they let us fight it out amongst ourselves. That's human nature, right? This is the difference between what it was like back then. I was in high school, college back then, when this song came out. But, it was a different world, right? And we kids, we had to work things out in our minds for ourselves, and it was good. We had these experiences. We got pushed off slides. We got, pushed around by the tough boys. You had to run like hell. I knew if I didn't run and make it to the pathway, I'd be fine there. I'd get to my friend's house or I'd get to my aunt's house. But man, did I learn how to run fast, like Forrest Gump, right? And then I went on and started running later, but and then what it does, these things happen and they show you your own nature, right? Somebody treats you in a certain way, a relative, right? It's a reflection, on you. Uncle Johnny would do something, say something to me. I'd go home and I'd think about it. Say, why did he say that to me? What is it about me that he saw, right? He was in human design, he was a projector, right? A projector is somebody who feeds, gives it back to you, sees you, I see you, and this is what I see, and this is what I'm going to tell you I see about you, and that's how you learn. So Jesus knew, right? Jesus, he was aware of everything. He was aware how people were, of all the weaknesses, 10 Commandments. People tend to, to stray from being devoted to one God, or they tend to swear a lot when they're stressed out, especially me. No, but, they tend to forget to call their parents. They forget to, they don't eat right, which is, they tend to steal things, right? This is human nature. So yeah, that song was, reach out, touch a stranger is one of the, reach out. If this town is just an apple, I'm going to take a bite, right? So listen to the song. I think it's one of his better, it's one of my favorites. I love it. It's just the way it goes, why, tell them that it's human nature, right? So the way I look at it, is really that way, yeah. You don't want to hear me sing. Yeah. Many people started to believe in Jesus because they were attracted to his light because they saw him doing things, right? They're like, oh, something's happening over here. I want to be over here with this guy, When you put your light out in the world and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it, it's like flies, or it's like mosquitoes to the light zapper. Psst. But, not quite. But flies to the lantern or whatever, bugs on the lantern. They're attracted to the light, So, yeah. So those are kind of my thoughts on the week, on the energy. I was getting all these great ideas today about rugs and beds and furniture. It was all coming in. Like Venus was square Uranus today. So that's like, psh, eureka. I was getting all these creative ideas. Because Venus is all about what you value, your things, what you find beautiful. Uranus is like sudden, zap. So, anyway, I'm getting chilly. This is what happens. I was out in the sun. I did put my sunscreen on, so I'm good. Yeah. So those are the thoughts for the week. Michael Jackson, Human Nature, go listen to it. And yeah, so I'm, reflecting on the new direction. And it's gonna have to evolve. Right, Zazoo? We'll see. So, from Orlando, not, Zazoo Plazz, wishing you a beautiful week. And just respect your human nature, your individual nature. What kind of human are you? Do you know? Go find out. And I'll talk to you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.